Dunedin's Mayor Dave Cull is pretty stoked what's happening with his compadres around the world at the moment. Mayors from all over the world are signing up to battle climate change. There was two major mayoralty groups around the world. One was called the Compact of Mayors. The other one was the European Union Covenant of Mayors. These two groups have decided to join together in a battle of the ages against climate change. They've changed their name to the Global Covenant of Mayors for Climate and Energy, Dom. And it's a bit of a follow-on story perhaps from last week, talking about South Dunedin issues, flooding in South Dunedin, what happens to Dunedin when climate change kicks in, if it kicks in, when it kicks in, and plans to move forward not just for Dunedin, but obviously for the world as well.
That's right, so move away from the waterfront, just pop back a wee bit, right? And we'll have the Riviera of the South if temperatures go up 5 degrees in the next sort of 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So no complaints from me on that one. I'm cold at the moment, Patrick. I don't like winter, and I can't see any issue down here. Obviously, further north you go in the world and closer to the middle of it, the worse it'll be. But, yeah, what was the name of that group again?
The new group is called the Global Covenant of Mayors for Climate
Did they meet anywhere to decide this, did they? Or was this sort of done via the internet? Because I can just, this reeks of a donut, mate, for the mayors. What do mayors actually do anyway? Like, I mean, they're figureheads, that's fine. A few of them get angry in council meetings, but I mean, yeah, that's good that we're part of it, though. I can't say that it's a bad thing that we're part of it. You want to be part of it, absolutely. I just wonder what it's sort of going to achieve. It seems to me to be a feel-good thing here.
Well, let's look at the flip side to what you're saying. If we went, stuff you Covenant, we don't want to be involved with the climate change group, how would you feel about that?
Yeah, no, as I said, it's good to be part of it. You've got to be part of the conversation, absolutely. I just wonder what this particular thing here is actually going to achieve. The Covenant of Mayoral Climate Change Awareness Groups.
Well, let's have a look what Dave Cull has actually said about it. Because it was welcomed, the move was welcomed by Mayor Cull, and he said this: "I'm pleased to see the Compact of Mayors join forces with the EU Covenant of Mayors. The coalition recognises the need for significant and urgent action on climate change and allows for greater collaboration between cities across the globe to achieve this."
Right.
So he's into it.
And well, yeah, and so why wouldn't he be? So now it's a compact covenant of mayors. That's good. So what do you see coming out of it? Because there is actually a genuine issue, as we discussed last week, in terms of what happens with you know, South Dunedin. So what do you, I mean, do you see anything that's actually going to come out of something like this?
I mean, it's interesting because then you get into the conversation around climate change, and I've long been a proponent of the debate, the conversations, the arguments around climate change are kind of moot to me, because I just think about it as pollution. Because if you tick all the boxes to get rid of pollution, you basically have ticked the boxes to get rid of climate change. And I don't think anyone in the world would go, oh no, we don't want to get rid of pollution. Of course we want to get rid of pollution, and there are things, the theory is things that are polluting our environment, that we are causing to pollute our environment, are some of the contributing factors to climate change. So they're also the contributing factors to things that pollute our waterways and our breathing space. So let's get rid of them. So for me, it's a bit of a moot point. So what I'm saying is, if I think about this like these mayors battling pollution, of course I support it. Of course I'm for it.
Oh yeah, same.
Of course I want us to clean up our rivers and waterways. I want to have better quality breathing air. I don't want companies to be spewing various products into the environment. So I actually don't understand, and I'm not going to use the word deniers like to accuse them, but I don't understand people who sit in that camp having an issue with this, because the absolute crux of it is, let's make the environment we live in healthier, better for us.
And who's going to disagree with that? Right.
So what is the actual argument
the compact of covenant mayors from around the global climate world, what are they actually? I mean, okay, so Dunedin's a part of that, which is great.
So I'll tell you
but we don't make it. We're not going to make much of a dent in the overall things, are we? So the overall state of things. So are there some of the big players in there in the mayoral covenant scheme? Yeah,
well that's the thing. It's obviously a big part of it is the EU, because it was formed by the European Union in 2008. Right. The Compact of Mayors was launched in September 2014. Yeah. Dunedin's involvement is already there. Dunedin has already committed to measuring greenhouse gas emissions, setting and reporting against reduction targets, and adopting an action plan.
Okay.
So they said, we're going to adopt. I hope they are actually then adopting it, not just saying they're going to adopt it. But again, like we talked last week about the flooding, and there was a story we talked through, and it said the green, what's the word, like the green attack within...
Yeah, the green agenda.
The green agenda within council. Yeah. To me, the green agenda is, let's have a healthier place to live.
Yeah, which, you know, like really is anyone actually going to say, no, let's not?
If that could be tied into unfair taxes and unfair payments and then used for that, that's one thing, right? Because there are some interesting things around when you level trees on your property and you get carbon credits for them. Does the property then become worthless because you can't then sell them again? There is stuff there that's certainly bureaucratical.
Of political
but if you're
nature.
saying to me, I'm going to add 2 cents a litre to your fuel, and that money is going to go directly to cleaning up the environment, I'm okay with that.
Don't knock the fuel up again. Seriously, what's going on? No, but yeah, all right.
In general, I think this is a great idea, but much like I guess we talked about last week, it's now about action. If they're going to get in and clean up the environment and do things to help climate change, pollution, our environment, whatever you want to call it, then the time now is to do it, not to set an agenda to talk about doing it
in
over
2020.
the next 20 years.
Absolutely. Reeks to me of a talk fest, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt, and really what it comes down to is, are the big players going to take a part in this?